Have you ever felt an unshakable sense that your life was never truly your own? As if, before you took your first breath, you were bound by a mission, a purpose beyond earthly understanding. This is not your imagination. It is the echo of an agreement made long before you entered this world, a sacred contract between your soul and the divine. You, the chosen one, did not stumble into existence by chance. Every challenge you face, every lesson you endure, every moment of triumph and hardship has been set in motion by a choice you made beyond time itself. Before your birth, you stood before the eternal light of your higher self, and together you made a decision, a commitment not just to live, but to awaken, to grow, and to fulfill a mission far greater than personal ambition. You agreed to take on trials that would shape you, people who would test you, and a world that would seek to keep you blind. You did not ask for an easy road. You asked for transformation, for divine wisdom, for the ability to rise where others would fall. And in return, you were given gifts, intuition, resilience, spiritual sight, tools designed to help you remember your contract when the weight of the world tries to make you forget. But the truth is, most people do forget. They get lost in the illusion, in the distractions of life, in the comforts of the mundane. Yet, something within you has always resisted. The signs, the synchronicities, the feeling that you do not belong in this world as others do, it is all evidence of the agreement you made. Now, it is time to remember. It is time to step fully into the path you chose, to reclaim the wisdom you once knew. These are the 7 soul contracts you agreed to before birth, each one a stepping stone toward your ultimate purpose. They are not burdens, but sacred obligations woven into the very essence of your existence. And as you recognize them, as you embrace them, you will begin to understand why you were set apart, why you were chosen. This is not just a lesson. This is a calling. The contract of mutual selection. You chose this life. Your existence is no accident. Before you arrived in this physical world, you stood before your higher self and chose this incarnation with intention, precision, and deep spiritual awareness. Every aspect of your life, the time and place of your birth, the family you were born into, the trials you would face, was selected not by fate, but by your own divine wisdom. You did not come here blind. You came with a knowing, a purpose, a sacred agreement between your soul and the universe. Many people walk through life believing they are at the mercy of random events, blaming circumstances for their suffering, and feeling powerless against the tides of fate. But you, the chosen one, are different. You are awakening to the realization that every moment, every struggle, and every triumph is part of a greater design. The people you encounter, the obstacles you face, the paths you walk, none of it is coincidence. They are echoes of the decision you made before birth, reflections of the contract you signed. Perhaps you have felt the undeniable pull of destiny, those moments when life seems to conspire in ways that defy logic. The right book falling into your hands at the perfect time, a stranger delivering a message that seems meant just for you, an opportunity appearing just as you were ready to give up. These are not accidents. They are reminders, small awakenings nudging you back toward your mission. They are the manifestations of the mutual selection contract, the agreement between you and the divine that this journey was chosen, not imposed. But here is where most lose their way, the forgetting. Upon entering this world, the veil of amnesia is drawn, making us believe we are powerless, that we are victims of circumstances beyond our control. The world conditions us to forget our soul's agreement, to dismiss the whispers of intuition, to conform rather than transcend. Yet, something deep inside you resists. You feel the weight of your contract, even when you do not fully understand it. You have always sensed that there is more, that you were never meant to live a life dictated by fear, routine, or limitation. Embracing this contract means taking radical ownership of your life. It means understanding that nothing happens to you, everything happens for you. The pain, the setbacks, the betrayals, they are all part of the blueprint you helped create. They are lessons, catalysts, opportunities for spiritual refinement. You chose this life because you knew you had the strength to endure, to transform, to rise. And as you reclaim this truth, you will begin to walk in alignment with the divine plan that has always been waiting for you. This is not a passive existence. You are not a spectator in your own story. You are the architect, the creator, the chosen one. Accept this truth, and you will no longer seek purpose, you will embody it. The contract of endurance through hardship, strength forged in fire. Pain is not your enemy, it is your greatest teacher. Before you entered this life, you did not ask for ease, for comfort, for an existence free of struggle. No, you asked for the very trials that would shape you, for the storms that would refine you, for the fires that would forge the unbreakable soul within you. This is the contract of endurance, the sacred agreement that hardship is not punishment, but preparation. To those unaware of their divine agreement, suffering feels like cruelty, like an unjust burden placed upon them by a merciless universe. But for the chosen ones, suffering is a doorway to transformation. It is through struggle that you awaken. It is through loss that you understand the depth of love. It is through betrayal that you learn discernment. Every hardship has been orchestrated to bring you closer to your highest self. Consider the trials you have faced, the betrayals, the failures, the heartbreaks that left you gasping for breath. In those moments, it may have felt like the universe was against you, like you were abandoned, unseen, unheard. But now, as you look back, can you not see the patterns? The way each difficulty shaped you, the way each loss carved a deeper well of wisdom within you. These moments did not break you, they built you. They prepared you for something greater. This is the paradox of the chosen ones. The more you are called to elevate, the more you will be tested. You are not sent here for mediocrity. You are sent here to transcend. And that transcendence requires fire. It requires pressure. It requires breaking before rebuilding. The world will tell you that suffering is unfair, that you should resist it, that life should be easy. But the soul knows better. The soul understands that endurance through hardship is not about surviving, it is about evolving. Each challenge is an initiation, each battle a rite of passage. And those who embrace this contract, who stop fighting their pain and start learning from it, will emerge unstoppable. So when hardship comes, and it will, do not ask, why me? Instead ask, what is this trying to teach me? That is the mindset of a chosen one. That is the mark of a soul who remembers its agreement. And when you shift your perspective, when you embrace the trials with the knowing that they are refining you, you will no longer fear them. You will walk through fire, and you will emerge unburned, stronger than ever before. This is your path. This is your contract. And as you honor it, you will step into the unstoppable force you were always meant to become. The contract of spiritual awakening, breaking the illusion. Not everyone wakes up in this lifetime. Most remain caught in the illusion, living life as though they are nothing more than flesh and bone, prisoners of their circumstances, bound by the expectations of society. But you, the chosen one, were never meant to sleep forever. You signed a contract before you arrived, a contract of spiritual awakening. This agreement ensured that at a precise moment in your life, something would shake you to your core. A disruption so great, a realization so profound, that it would pierce through the veil of illusion and force you to see the world and yourself as they truly are. Perhaps it came as a moment of deep betrayal, where the ones you trusted the most revealed their true nature, shattering the false security you once held. Or maybe it was a profound loss, one that forced you to question everything you had been taught about life and death. For some, awakening comes through pain, through the breaking of the old self, so that the true self can emerge. For others, it arrives as a quiet whisper, a gentle yet persistent call towards something greater than what the eye can see. But make no mistake, awakening is not a peaceful experience. It is not the gentle unfolding of knowledge, nor is it a gift handed to you without struggle. It is the destruction of falsehoods, the disintegration of identities that no longer serve you. It is the moment when you realize that everything you once believed was merely a fragment of the truth, a sliver of a far greater reality. And this realization comes with a price. You will no longer fit into the mold society has created. You will begin to feel separate, different, unable to relate to those who remain asleep. You may find yourself questioning everything, your relationships, your career, your desires, even your own mind. This is the great unraveling, the stripping away of illusion so that you may see with the eyes of the soul. And this is where many resist. They cling to their old lives, to the familiarity of ignorance, to the comfort of societal acceptance. They try to unsee, to return to their previous state, but once the illusion is broken, it can never be fully restored. The only way forward is through. The only path is surrender. Those who accept the call, who embrace the awakening rather than fight it, will find themselves on a journey unlike any other. They will begin to notice synchronicities, patterns in their lives that point towards something greater. They will start to feel an unshakable sense of purpose, an inner knowing that whispers, "You are here for more." And indeed, you are. You did not come here to remain in the dark. You did not choose this life to be ordinary, to sleepwalk through existence. You came to awaken, to shatter the illusions that bind others, and to step into the full power of your divine nature. Your contract ensures that the awakening will not stop with you. As you rise, you will naturally become a guide, a light for those who are ready to follow. This is the burden and the blessing of the chosen ones, to awaken not only for themselves but for the world. Now that you see the truth, what will you do with it? Will you retreat into silence, or will you embrace the path your soul has laid before you? The choice is yours, but remember, awakening is not a destination. It is the beginning of your true journey. The contract of service, your purpose, is beyond yourself. You were never meant to live just for yourself. The ego seeks personal gain, comfort, and self-preservation, but the soul craves something greater: contribution, meaning, and legacy. You agreed long before you arrived to step beyond your own desires and dedicate your existence to something larger than yourself. This is the contract of service, the sacred agreement that your life would be a vessel for divine purpose. Many search for fulfillment in material success, in achievements, in status, yet they remain empty. That is because the deepest satisfaction does not come from what we acquire, but from what we give. The chosen ones are bound by this truth. They are called to serve, not in ways that always bring recognition or applause, but in ways that truly matter. Some are drawn to heal, others to teach, to guide, to build, to protect. Your form of service is unique to your soul, but the essence remains the same: to uplift, to heal, to bring light where darkness prevails. But service is not easy. It requires sacrifice, perseverance, and a willingness to stand alone. The world often does not recognize the chosen ones until their work is done. You may be ridiculed, rejected, misunderstood. The path of service is rarely paved with comfort, yet it is the only path that leads to true fulfillment. Look at history. The greatest figures who walked this earth, those who left an impact so profound their names echo through time, were those who devoted themselves to service. Not to personal glory, but to something higher. And you too have felt this pull, the quiet urging of your soul, nudging you toward a path that may not always be easy, but is undeniably right. Perhaps you have found yourself in situations where you were the one to offer wisdom when others were lost, the one who provided strength when others were weak. This is no accident. You have been prepared for this role since birth. Your experiences, your trials, your victories, they were all shaping you into someone capable of leading others. But service is not just about action. It is about being. The energy you carry, the way you speak, the love you give, these are all forms of service. You do not have to stand on a stage or hold a position of power to change lives. You change them by living in alignment with your highest self, by embodying the truth, by showing others what it means to walk with purpose. And so the question remains, how will you serve? How will you use your gifts, your lessons, your journey to uplift those who need it? This contract is not one you can break, nor one you should wish to. It is an honor to serve. It is an honor to fulfill the divine mission you agreed to. Embrace it, and you will find that the more you give, the more your soul expands. Contract of healing, transforming pain into power. You did not come here to carry the wounds of your past, you came to heal them. The contract of healing is one of the most difficult, yet most powerful agreements a soul can make. It means that in this lifetime, you would be given opportunities to confront the pain that has echoed through generations, through past lifetimes, through the very core of your being. And instead of allowing it to consume you, you would transmute it into wisdom. Strength and light. Healing is not passive. It does not happen simply because time passes. It is an active process, a conscious decision to face what hurts and transform it into something greater. Many avoid this work. They numb their pain with distractions, suppress it with busyness, or allow it to harden them into bitterness. But the chosen ones cannot run forever. Their soul will not allow it. The contract of healing ensures that the wounds will surface again and again, until they are acknowledged, understood, and released. Have you noticed recurring patterns in your life? The same type of toxic relationships, the same fears resurfacing, the same internal battles playing out in different forms. These are not coincidences. They are signs that your soul is calling you to do the work, to break the cycle, to free yourself from the burdens you were never meant to carry. But healing is not just for you. As you heal, you become a source of healing for others. Your ability to rise above your pain gives others permission to do the same. Your strength becomes a guide, your resilience a testimony. This is why the chosen ones often endure so much, because their healing is not just personal, it is ancestral, generational, collective. You have the power to transform your pain into power, your wounds into wisdom. But first, you must stop running. You must look within and ask yourself, what am I holding onto that no longer serves me? What am I willing to release so that I may become who I was always meant to be? The contract of healing is not a curse. It is a gift, and those who embrace it will find themselves free in ways they never imagined. The contract of wisdom integration, the merging of mind and spirit. True wisdom is not merely knowledge. It is not found in books alone, nor is it something that can be taught through words alone. Wisdom is lived. It is felt. It is understood at a level that transcends intellect and becomes part of your very being. This is the contract of wisdom integration, the sacred agreement that you would not only seek knowledge in this lifetime, but embody it, merging both the intellect of the mind and the deep intuition of the spirit. Many believe that intelligence is the pinnacle of understanding, but intelligence without wisdom is a blade without a hilt, sharp but dangerous, capable of harm rather than healing. Likewise, emotion without discernment can lead to chaos, a river without a course, flowing wildly but never reaching its true destination. The chosen ones were never meant to be ruled by intellect alone, nor were they meant to be consumed by emotion. Their path is one of balance, of alignment between logic and intuition, between knowledge and spiritual truth. In this lifetime, you agreed to experiences that would force you to integrate these two aspects of yourself. You have been placed in situations where you had to discern between illusion and truth, where you had to make decisions that required both clarity of thought and depth of soul. Perhaps you have found yourself torn between what makes logical sense and what your spirit whispers is the right path. Perhaps you have struggled with choices where the rational mind screams one answer, but your deeper knowing points in another direction. These are not coincidences. These are the moments that define your growth, the trials that test whether you will allow wisdom to lead or whether you will fall into the traps of either cold intellect or unchecked emotion. Look at the great figures of history, those who have left behind legacies of transformation. They did not rely on knowledge alone. They led with wisdom. They understood the laws of the world, but they also listened to the unseen, to the divine guidance that cannot be measured or calculated. King Solomon, when given the opportunity to ask for anything in the world, chose wisdom over riches, power, and revenge. Why? Because he understood that wisdom is the foundation upon which all true success is built. You too have been given this contract, and now you are being asked to fulfill it. Every challenge, every lesson, every difficult choice has been designed to sharpen your ability to see with both the mind and the spirit. The more you align these two forces, the more powerful your decisions become. You will no longer be swayed by manipulation, nor will you be blinded by emotions that distort the truth. You will become a force of clarity, a presence that others seek in times of uncertainty. Wisdom is not just knowing, it is being. And as you walk this path, integrating all that you have learned with all that you innately know, you will embody the kind of wisdom that does not just change your own life, it changes the world. The contract of compassionate interactions, the ultimate test of love. It is easy to love those who love us in return. It is effortless to offer kindness to those who appreciate us, to extend warmth to those who share our values, to stand beside those who walk the same path. But true compassion, the kind that transforms the soul, is tested in the presence of those who challenge us, those who misunderstand us, those who, in another life, we might have called our enemies. This is the contract of compassionate interactions, the agreement that you would not only love, but love unconditionally. Before you came into this world, you understood that the greatest measure of your spiritual growth would not be found in how you treat those who are easy to love, but in how you respond to those who test your patience, who oppose your truth, who bring discomfort into your life. And so, you agreed to encounters that would stretch your heart beyond its limits, that would force you to see beyond the surface and recognize the divine even in those who appear lost, broken, or unworthy. This contract manifests in the difficult relationships, the betrayals, the moments where you are called to extend grace when everything in you wants to retaliate. It is the stranger who speaks unkindly to you, the friend who turns their back on you, the loved one who does not see your worth. These are not just random occurrences. They are divine appointments, opportunities to fulfill your soul's agreement to embody higher love. But this does not mean becoming weak. Compassion is not about allowing yourself to be used, nor does it mean tolerating abuse. True compassion requires strength. It means recognizing that while you may set boundaries, while you may walk away from those who harm you, you do not do so with hate in your heart. You release them with understanding, knowing that every soul is on its own journey, learning its own lessons. Many will fail this test. Many will allow resentment to take root, poisoning their spirit and blinding them to the truth of this contract. But the chosen ones must rise above. They must see through the illusion of separation and recognize that even those who act against them are simply playing their part in the greater unfolding of their soul's evolution. Can you love without expectation? Can you offer kindness without needing anything in return? Can you see divinity even in those who seem furthest from it? These are the questions your soul agreed to answer in this lifetime, and the way you respond will determine the depth of your spiritual transformation. Love is the final lesson, the hardest test, the ultimate contract, and those who embrace it fully will ascend beyond what they ever thought possible. Final words, your contribution to the mission, the grand design of your soul's journey. You were never meant to walk an ordinary path. From the moment you entered this world, forces have tried to shape you, to mold you into something smaller than what you truly are. But deep within, you have always known that you are different, that your life holds meaning beyond the mundane, that you are part of something far greater than yourself. The 7 contracts you have agreed to are not separate obligations. They are woven together, each one a step toward the fulfillment of your soul's purpose. You have chosen to awaken, to endure, to serve, to heal, to integrate wisdom, to embody compassion, and to walk this earth not as a lost soul, but as a beacon for others. But this path is not easy. Many will misunderstand you. Many will question why you cannot simply live as others do, why you are drawn to deeper truths, why you refuse to conform. But you are not here to fit in. You are here to remember, to lead, to transform. And now the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you embrace the contracts you have made? Will you live each day with the awareness that every experience, every trial, every encounter is part of your divine design? You are not merely surviving, you are ascending. You are fulfilling a mission that was written before time itself. And as you walk forward, know this, you do not walk alone. There are others like you, chosen ones scattered across the earth, each awakening in their own time, each rising to fulfill their purpose. Together, you are shifting the very fabric of reality, bringing light to places where darkness once reigned. This is your journey. This is your contract. This is your sacred duty. Embrace it fully, and you will become everything you were always meant to be.